Now, Angelo Agrizzi's 800,000 rand fraud case has been postponed. The former Bosasa COO has not appeared for 9 months due to ill health. He and former ANC MP Vincent Smith are accused of bribery. eNCA Slindelo Masikane joins us from the Palm Ridge Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. Slindelo, good afternoon. What happened in court today?
Well, not much really, but what we did see was a brief appearance by Agrizzi's lawyer, who once again handed in Agrizzi's medical records to show that he simply just isn't well enough to make his way to court. And what we understood was that there was going to be an application by Agrizzi's lawyers actually to try and have his bail conditions relaxed, and the state was actually going to be ready to oppose this application, but it seems Agrizzi's lawyers decided to abandon that application, and what we subsequently saw was the postponement once again of this matter to next year in March. And in the meantime, the state will be acquiring medical experts to scrutinize Agrizzi's medical records for themselves. Let's take a listen.
Once again, Mr. Angelo Agrizzi was not in court. His lawyer actually handed over medical certificates, citing that even in the past that's what's been done. There's also assessment that has been handed on that's been filed by this very court about his medical assessment, full detailed medical assessment which we had requested about him not being in court. But what we must also state is that the court then opted to issue a warrant of arrest. He had stayed as part of protocol that if you're supposed to come to court and you don't, a warrant has to be issued. However, it has been stayed. What also happened is that Mr. Angelo Agrizzi requested for him to report to a different police station because he has since moved. This is the same police station that initially he was supposed to report to. However, I changed it in the past, so he's reporting to the Douglasdale police station from the 10th of December. He's expected to report every Friday. But additionally, what also happened is that in court, we were expecting today that an application would be brought because we had various communications with Mr. Angelo Agrizzi's lawyers about the request for the relaxation of his bail conditions. We had planned to oppose this. We had submitted what we had planned to oppose and state to this court as to why this should not be the case. However, at the last minute, it was just filed and not argued, meaning it was abandoned as how we understand it, until the medical inquiry is done. So what also happened in court today is that the matter is postponed to the 2nd of March for the medical inquiry of Mr. Angelo Agrizzi. We've received the medicals, we've received the full assessment, so we want to now appoint a state doctor, a pulmonologist, to actually assess him, and then we'll compare the various assessments that were done by Mr. Angelo Agrizzi's lawyer in the past to see if this is the true fact, and then a decision will then be taken. We must also state that because of the medical incapacity as alleged by Mr. Angelo Agrizzi's lawyer, we've had to separate this matter from Mr. Vincent Smith to himself, to only come here alone as Mr. Angelo Agrizzi, because it was in violation of the other accused Vincent Smith's constitutional rights to a speedy trial. So we want to ascertain for sure if this is the true facts, if he is in fact unable to stand for trial, so that alternative means can be made for this matter to proceed and reach its finality.
So, Slindelo, Agrizzi, just a no-show yet again. What have his lawyers actually stated are the issues there?
A lot of the issues really are around his health, and what we understand is that Agrizzi has been in and out of hospital with a number of conditions. At this point, those medical records have been handed over to the court, and his lawyer saying that the state is more than welcome to scrutinize them, to appoint their own experts to look over those medical records, saying at this point in time, Agrizzi is at home. However, his doctors do believe that he simply just cannot risk coming to court. We know, of course, we are in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and he's someone that you would classify as high risk. And so his lawyer today saying that the matter needs to stand down at least for the next 3 months to allow the state to be able to look over those medical records. Let's take a listen.
Worship, the position is, as the state, I think, are fully aware, we have been in contact with them both in writing and both telephonically with the investigating officer. Mr. Agrizzi's health condition is of such a nature that he cannot attend court. So there's no point in calling his name out 3 times, 1 time or 10 times. The state know that he's not here. They know exactly where he is. And it all relates to his health condition. So we would request, in the circumstances, that a warrant be issued and stayed over until the next date. We have agreed upon a date, which is the 2nd of March, which is 2022. And the reason for that date is in order for the state, they're in the process, and they did indicate to us where they have to put it out to tender in terms of their protocols and in terms of the procedure, in order to obtain a medical expert, which they were supposed to obtain on the 2nd of November. A subpoena was issued on Dr. Chauhan, who is one of the main treating doctors of Mr. Agrizzi, to appear in court for a medical inquiry in relation to the matter as to his health condition.
So what can we expect to happen next year when the case resumes, Slindelo?
Well, we know, of course, that the matter is now standing down for about 3 months. Will only resume in March next year. And once that matter resumes, then we will be hearing from the state and its experts as to whether they believe that Agrizzi is not fit to stand trial, as his doctors are alluding to.
No, thank you very much. That's our reporter, Slindelo Masikane, just updating us on that matter pertaining to Angelo Agrizzi. Now, still